Hey everyone, welcome to Nocturnalism. Today we're diving into something really exciting, the Cryptids iceberg. Originally created by Jimbo Seth, if you're into mysteries, creatures, folklore and all things unexplained, you're in for a treat. I've been inspired by other YouTubers tackling iceberg charts and I wanted to put my own spin on it. Instead of rushing in though, we're doing something different. We're going deep. This series will be split into parts so we can really explore each layer, uncovering the origins, sightings, descriptions of these fascinating creatures. So grab a snack, get comfy, put this on while you're studying, put this on while you're sleeping, and let's start our journey into the unknown. Layer 1. Of course, we're starting with the big man. Bigfoot himself, also known as Sasquatch, finds its roots in Native American folklore, especially among the tribes in the Pacific Northwest. The term Sasquatch comes from the Salish word Sasquatch, referring to a wild man or large hairy creature. Indigenous stories have described large hairy beings who dwell in the forests, believed to possess great strength and sometimes supernatural abilities. Over time, these stories merged with European settlers' lore to form the modern legend of Bigfoot. Some of the most known encounters are the Patterson-Gimlin film, captured in Bluff Creek, California. The short film shows a large bipedal creature walking among the creek bed. This footage remains one of the most hotly debated pieces of Bigfoot evidence, with some believing it to be genuine and others insisting that it's a hoax. Another encounter is the Skookum cast of 2000, a partial body impression found in Skookum Meadows, Washington, was believed by some researchers to be evidence of a reclining Bigfoot. The cast preserved details like a large footprint and what some interpreted as a body and leg impressions. Bigfoot is typically described as a towering ape-like creature standing between 7 and 10 feet tall. Covered in dark brown, black or reddish-brown hair, it has large feet, often 15 inches long, with toes that may leave distinctive prints. Its face is generally described as being more human-like than ape-like, with a pronounced brow bridge, deep-set eyes, and a flat nose. Bigfoot is known for its elusive nature, leaving behind only footprints, broken branches, or fleeting sightings. Stories of the gigantic octopus originate from ancient seafaring legends, where sailors often recounted tales of monstrous sea creatures capable of dragging entire ships beneath the waves. The kraken from Norse mythology is one of the earliest examples of such a creature, often described as a colossal octopus or squid. One of the most known encounters of the kraken or gigantic octopus is one of the St. Augustine monster, a mysterious carcass washed up in Florida beach, initially thought to be a gigantic octopus. Although later identified as decomposed whale tissue, the event fueled speculation around enormous unknown sea creatures, and the 2007 colossal squid. While not an octopus, the discovery of a colossal squid weighing about 500 kilograms near Antarctica reignited public interest in a giant sea creature. Its sheer size and the depth at which it was found have parallels with the idea of a gigantic octopus. A gigantic octopus, as described in legends, would have a massive bulbous head and long, powerful tentacles covered in large suction-cupped suckers. These tentacles could easily reach lengths over 30 feet away, or more, enabling the creature to wrap around ships and drag them underwater. Its eyes would be proportionally large, aiding in deep-sea vision, and it would move in a fluid, eerie grace through the ocean depths. Keeping with the themes of the depths, sea serpent legends are nearly universal, found in cultures from the Norse to the Chinese. The Norse Jormungandr, the Midgard serpent, is one of the earliest examples, described as so large it encircles the earth. Medieval European accounts also frequently mention serpentine creatures in the ocean, seen as omens or dangerous beasts. Some of the most notable encounters include the Daedalus encounter, where British naval officers aboard the HMS Daedalus reported seeing a sea serpent off the coast of Africa. They described it as being about 60 feet long with a long snake-like body and an uplifted head that moved above the water. And the Gloucester sea serpent in 1817. Fishermen in Gloucester, Massachusetts reported seeing a 15-foot long sea serpent with humps along its back. The creature has been seen by many and became a sensational story in New England. That's why often the description is, they are often depicted as long, snake-like creatures with undulating bodies that can stretch up to 100 feet or more. Their heads are often described as dragon-like or resembling that of a horse, with prominent eyes and sometimes whisker-like appendages. They are sometimes shown with scales, fins, or even frills along their spines, giving them an otherworldly appearance. The legend of the chupacabra, meaning goat sucker, emerged in Puerto Rico in the mid-1990s. Its name reflects the creature's alleged practice of attacking livestock, particularly goats, and draining them of blood. Although the exact origin of the story is unclear, many attribute it to the rise of local farmers finding their animals mysteriously killed with precise puncture wounds. Sticking to the theme of having two notable encounters, the first one was in Puerto Rico itself, where the first widely reported attack in Puerto Rico were that of several goats being found dead with their blood sucked out of them. This incident was followed by a wave of similar reports, cementing the chupacabra in modern folklore. Texas sightings in 2004 were numerous reports emerging from Texas of strange hairless creatures attacking livestock. Some ranchers even claim to have captured or killed what they believe to be chupacabras, though many of these turn out to be diseased coyotes. The description of a chupacabra is commonly depicted in two forms, reptilian and canine. The reptilian version resembles a bipedal lizard-like creature with spines running down its back, standing about 3 to 4 feet tall. The canine variant, however, appears more like a hairless, mange-ridden dog with pronounced fangs and glowing red eyes. Both forms are associated with their vampiric tendencies to drain blood from livestock. The next entry on our list is one that I find, or like I'm starting to find, a bit more interesting than the original ones that we all know of. Like we know this one, the Jersey Devil. This is where we start to get deep into layer 1, like deeper, and it's about the Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil originated in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey and dated back to the early 18th century. According to folklore, a woman known as Mother Leeds, who had 12 children, cursed her 13th child during a moment of frustration. The child was born as a monstrous creature with hooves, wings, and a goat's head, which fled into the Pine Barrens shortly after birth. Now, one of the encounters that I'm about to mention is very, very interesting to my knowledge, and I never heard of this one before, because it's Napoleon Bonaparte's brother. Joseph Bonaparte, elder brother of Napoleon, claimed to have seen the Jersey Devil while hunting in the Pine Barrens. His sighting added a layer of aristocratic intrigue to the legend. And also the 1909 flap. In January 1909, over a period of a week, hundreds of residents across New Jersey and Pennsylvania reported sightings of a strange winged creature. It was described as having the body of a kangaroo, the head of a horse, and the bat-like wings. These reports were accompanied by unexplained tracks and strange noises being made. The description of the Jersey Devil is often the same, as a bizarre chimera-like creature with the body of a kangaroo, a goat's head, bat-like wings, clawed hands, hooved feet, and a forked tail. Its eerie high-pitched scream is said to echo through the Pine Barrens, striking fear into those who heard it. I never really got into the lore of the Jersey Devil, but I do find this quite interesting and quite absurd, like how America creates these like legends in their folklore. Like a lot of West Virginia stuff as well. They have a lot of cryptids there that are very interesting and their lore, but they will probably be handled in this Iceberg as well. The next one is the jackalope. It's a mystical creature from once again American folklore. Particularly popular in western United States, it is believed to have been inspired by sightings of rabbits injected with Shope papillomavirus, which causes horn-like growths. The jackalope became a staple of cowboy tall tales and hunting lore. Notable encounters include the Douglas Herrick hoax. In the 1930s, a taxidermist from Wyoming, Douglas Herrick, created a jackalope by attaching antelope horns to a rabbit. His creation became an instant novelty, leading to widespread belief and continued embellishments of the jackalope legend. And the western tall tales, cowboys sitting around campfires would tell stories of jackalopes, describing them as elusive and aggressive creatures that could mimic human voices, often singing along with the cowboys riding on their horses. So a jackalope resembles an ordinary jackrabbit, but with deer-like antlers sprouting from its head. Some descriptions also include fangs or horns, giving it maybe a ferocious-like appearance. In many tales, jackalopes are cunning, capable of outwitting hunters, and are said to possess unique traits like the ability to mimic sounds or human speech. Another quite bizarre one, but it's fun what comes out of America. The next entry on our list is the Thunderbird. The Thunderbird is a powerful creature from Native American mythology, particularly among tribes in the Pacific Northwest. It is seen as a supernatural being that controls the weather, creating thunder and lightning as it flaps its massive wings. The Thunderbird is often regarded as a protector of the people, symbolizing strength and power. During the Civil War, stories emerged of soldiers capturing a large bird-like creature in the Arizona desert. This creature was said to have a wingspan of over 20 feet and was believed to be a thunderbird. Also, one notable account of a boy in Lawndale, Illinois claimed to have been grabbed by a giant bird that lifted him several feet into the air before dropping him. Witnesses described the bird having a wingspan of at least 10 feet, adding to the legend of the thunderbird. That's why it's often depicted as a massive bird with a wingspan that can reach 20 feet or more. It often resembles an eagle or a condor, but is much larger, with sharp talons and powerful beak. Thunderbirds are frequently associated with storms and their wings said to generate thunder and lightning. That's why it eventually got its name. Getting away from a bit lesser known encounters, going back to one that is probably known by all. The Loch Ness Monster, Nessie herself, hails from Scottish folklore, finally getting out of America. The earliest reference to a creature in Loch Ness dates back to the 6th century, with the encounter of Saint Columba. Nessie's modern fame began in the 20th century, fueled by frequent reports of mysterious sighting in the loch. Notable encounters include the famous surgeon's photograph, one of the most famous and widely circulated photos of Nessie showing a long-necked creature emerging from the water. Though later revealed to be a hoax, the image became iconic with the Loch Ness Monster's legend. Also, there's a way older account of the St. Columba's encounter. According to legend, the Irish monk St. Columba encountered a monster in the River Ness, which was attacking a man. Columba is said to have commanded the creature to retreat, which it did. That's why Nessie is often described as a large aquatic creature with a long neck, resembling a plesiosaur, an extinct marine reptile. It is said to have a humped back, flippers, and a small head. Sightings typically describe the creature as dark-colored, with its neck and head occasionally breaking the water's surface. Again, this is a very, very well-known one. But now, let's get back to the first entry, Bigfoot, and get to its snowy cousin. The Yeti, or abominable snowman, is deeply rooted in the Himalayan folklore. Indigenous people of the region, such as the Sherpas and Lepcha, have long stories of a large ape-like creature inhabiting the snowy peaks of the Himalayas. Western interest in the Yeti sparked by mountaineers' reports in the 19th and 20th century. Some notable encounters are the Mount Everest expedition. British mountaineer Eric Shipton photographed large humanoid footprints in the snow during an Everest expedition, leading to the widespread speculation about the Yeti. And the Tenzing Norgay accounts is a famous Sherpa guide who assisted Sir Edmund Hillary in summiting Everest, often spoke of the Yeti, recounting local legends and alleged sightings of the creature during his expeditions. The Yeti, like Bigfoot, is typically described as a large bipedal creature covered in white or gray fur, blending in with its snowy surroundings. It stands between 6 feet and 10 and is also known to have massive footprints. Often found in remote snowy areas, its appearance is often compared to that of the prehistoric human or large ape, with a powerful build suited for cold climates. The Dover Demon is a cryptid that first appeared in modern reports from Dover, Massachusetts in 1977. Unlike many other creatures on this list, the Dover Demon does not have deep historical roots or folklore. It is considered a relatively new addition to the world of cryptozoology, with sightings confined to a small geographic area. The first sighting occurred when a teenager named Bill Bartlett claimed to have seen a strange creature with large eyes and a bulbous head while driving. 2 more teenagers reported seeing the same creature later that night. Although the Dover Demon's sightings were primarily confined to a 2-day period, the creature has since been referenced in other cryptid discussions. though no concrete evidence has surfaced ever. It was described as a small humanoid creature with a disproportionately large head, glowing orange eyes, and a thin, spindly body. Its skin is often said to be peach or grey, and it lacks any discernible mouth or nose. Its appearance is distinctly alien, with a smooth, featureless face and long, thin fingers. Mothman. The legend of Mothman originates from Point Pleasant, West Virginia, with the first sighting occurring in November 1966. The creature gained fame after a series of reports describing a winged humanoid with glowing red eyes. The story culminated in the collapse of the Silver Bridge in December of 1967, which many linked to Mothman sightings, suggesting it as an omen of disaster. The first sighting were from two young couples reportedly seeing a large grey creature with glowing red eyes and wings near an old TNT plant in Point Pleasant. They described it as following their car and flying at incredible speeds. Numerous Mothman sightings were reported leading up to the tragic collapse of the Silver Bridge, which resulted in the death of 46 people. Some believe Mothman appeared as a warning of the impending disaster. That's why Mothman is typically described as a large humanoid figure with a wingspan of 10 to 15 feet and glowing red eyes. It is often said to have the body covered in dark or grey feathers and is capable of flying at high speeds. Witnesses frequently describe a sense of fear or dread when encountering the creature. Its role as a harbinger of doom has become a central theme in the Mothman lore. And that is the first part of our cryptid Iceberg. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I have no idea when it will come out and how the style of the video will be. I'm recording as is, and I am very excited to make more parts for you guys, and maybe some longer parts as well. If you guys put a thumbs up on the video, if you enjoyed it, obviously do that. Subscribe to my channel because I would really appreciate the support. If you have any tips for me, leave it in the comments, and I would like to see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.